All right, welcome to the Safe Wheel live stream where I share my real P&L on 3 accounts and teach my proprietary Safe Wheel options trade system for free. And the system is currently up 25% year to date. Now, please type in the chat that you can hear me okay. I'm going to assume that you can. Also, post any questions that you might have. If you post those questions early enough to make sure that I get to them before the end of the broadcast. You hear me, Charles? Okay, thank you, Charles. Okay, I know you guys can hear me. So let's get started. First, I'm going to go over my earnings edge. And you can see my account value here, 34.38. So the account's down around 31%, down pretty good. It's probably the lowest it's been. Last week, I traded Microsoft and I lost $235. My record is 21 wins, 9 losses, and 3 ties. And since I started my 8 filters, my record is 6 wins and 4 losses. Now, I tweaked this system. I did some back testing and tweaked this system. And instead of winning about 75% of the trades, now I'm only going to win about half the trades. But my average loss is going to be around $200 and my average win should be around $500. So if you have a 50-50 and you make more than you lose, you should come out ahead pretty good. And that's what I expect to see, and we will see what happens in the future. And this is the system I would use if I had a little bit of money and I was trying to, take a lot of risk and get it up. This is what I would do with it. Okay, next, Premier Level 5. Let's see if I can get to it. Oh, so here, let me show you Microsoft real quick. You can see that it's plus 58 because we took a winner on Microsoft a few months ago. Okay, so here's the Premier Level 5. This particular system is when you want to get conservative. We're at about 32,000. Started with $30,000. You can see the P&L doesn't move too much. So it's not a lot of volatility in this account. Again, this particular system is really, really good. It's non-directional. So it doesn't really matter if the market goes up or down. There's a plan for everything. I currently, since starting this on April 8th, my wins are 8 wins, 2 losses, and 3 ties, and I currently have 3 open positions. So I'm getting pretty heavily allocated. If you compare the market has been down almost 20% since April 8th, and it's currently down about 16%. With this system is up around 6 to 7%. So, and we've only had a drawdown of around 3 to 4%. So we're vastly outperforming in terms of beta. Beta being the volatility is much, much lower compared to the S&P 500. And then we're outperforming as far as alpha about 22% alpha. So lower beta, higher alpha. That's the goal. And this system is designed to do it, and it has been doing that. Okay, let's get into the safe wheel. Let's see where we are with that. So you can see we're at I'm at $6,300, started with 5,000. This is another relatively conservative play. Not as conservative as the PL5, but it's pretty conservative. It's up 25% or so year to date. I think my largest drawdown with this might have been 5%, maybe 6%. So it's doing quite well. It averages probably about 10% a year, and I've seen drawdowns, I believe, if I remember off the top of my head, around 10%. So that'll tell you, how this system performs. It outperforms the S&P also in terms of beta and alpha. and it's outperforming significantly as far as alpha, like 40%. And that's my goal. My goal is to outperform the S&P 500. Do you know that most money managers, probably about 95% of them, do not outperform the S&P 500? And when you start talking about the traders on YouTube, the guys that don't show their P&L, they underperform. They vastly underperform. Most of them, I'd say 98% of them, 99% of them, vastly underperform the S&P 500. I mean, by a lot. Okay, so let's go to Uber. Yeah, so I just thought I just saw someone say that Uber, yeah, here it is. Will, this morning's drop on Uber really helped us make a lot today. Yeah, it's interesting that Uber dropped significantly when we were just holding the put hedge. But what happened last week was I had a 2750. I bought in at 2750. I got assigned the Uber stock of 100 shares at 2750. And at the time, I owned those shares last week, so I sold the call against it at the 2750 strike. And the Uber went up above 2750 on Friday and called away my position. So I'm left with no position except for my hedge over the weekend. And then you can see that Uber is down 4.5%, which is good, because the put hedges are going to rise in value. So you can see it's at about 55 bucks. Now, so the next question is, basically I'm starting over. I'm starting flat. I could not use Uber. I could go to a different stock right now if I wanted to, but I like Uber and I'm going to stay with it. It's falling, it's within my range of, it's close to $30. It's within $20 to $40. I already went through the expense of buying the put hedge. So the question is now, is this put hedge within range or is it good enough to use? And being around $27, I want it to be within about 80% or at least 70%. So right now, let's say 26.79 times, let's say 0.7, definitely that would be about 19. So my put hedge is at 22.50, so it's definitely above the 70% range. So that's good. It's good enough to use. Let's go with 26.77. Let's times 80%. That would be around 21.22. So this is even better than 80%. So it's definitely within range. In fact, this is even better that it's higher than 80% of what the current value of the stock, this strike. So that makes it a really strong hedge. So, I'm looking good here. I want to go ahead and sell a put and start this wheel strategy all over again by using Uber. The other thing I might look at is how old is this hedge? Because if it gets close to around 100 days, then it's too old. I mean, it's too old, so it won't work as well. But I want something around 150 days. It's 144, so that's fine. I'm going to continue to use this hedge, and I'm just going to start the wheel all over again. Just think if I didn't have this put hedge and Uber dropped like this. What did I get in at? 31 or something, 32? I mean, I'd be holding on to this. Without this put hedge, I'd be holding on to Uber, just stuck in it, not able to sell any premium, just holding it, hoping and praying that it goes higher. But because we have a hedged system, we're making money. Okay, so I'm going to go into Uber, into the closest expiration, and currently trading around $27, $26.70. So on the puts, I can go to the 26.50 lower, And that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the 2650, just lower than where I am. I could go to the 26. My hedge is pretty strong. I'm going to go with the 2650 here. I'm going to sell this. Now, as far as sizing, I'm $5,000 to $10,000. Therefore, I'm going to do one tranche, and I'm going to do 3 put hedges. If I had $10,000 to $15,000, I would do 2 of these, and I would do 6 put hedges, and I would just move it up from there. Every $5,000 increment. There's your sizing. Okay, so I'm going to sell a put. See if I can get 72 for it. So no. That must be moving against me. It's going down faster than I can move it. Okay, there you go. So it looks like I got 70. Now I need to protect my hedge. So I'm going to buy a call. I'm going to buy something around $5, $6 right here. A $30 call. I could put $5 in there, but it probably won't fill. So I'm just going to go with 6. Okay, so now we have I have my position on. And look at the Analyze tab here. See that T+0 line? That's nice. What are we trading at? We're right in here, right? But yeah, nice T+0 line there. See, the risk is way over here. You hit 30 and then you lose $4. So, you know, this is a great T+0 line here. But that's because we're already into profit zone, right? Because our put hedge is making money. So, okay, let's see if there's any questions today or comments. Will this morning's drop in Uber really helped us make a lot? Yes, it did. That was very good. Uber earnings are coming up November, the vol increase compared to this week's cycle. Let's take a look at that. I'm not concerned about earnings. Looks like they're next week. If you look at the volatility this week compared to next week, and then it kind of drops off the following week, it looks like there is some earnings coming up next week. That's probably why I got really good premium for selling that put. Yeah, it seems like earnings edge has a great start before it started dropping. Yeah, it did. It did have a good start. Well, actually, the very beginning, it actually dropped, and then it caught up and made money, and now it's dropped again. Had a couple losses in a row, but we'll see what happens. I'm letting it set to where I'm going to make the bigger wins. So I just need one win. It's going to be a big win. I haven't had one yet, which is surprising to me. I think statistically I should have had a couple by now. Even though the market doesn't matter for your trades, is this market unusually and hurting? No, I wouldn't say that has any effect on the earnings edge. Uber, bid-ask, not so good. Let's take a look at that. Looks pretty good. 2021, 30, 34, 46, 50. Yeah, it starts getting a little bit loose up in here, and you start getting at the money. But as long as it's within about 3 cents, you can see it's within about 3 cents. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I like Uber. I think I've made some money with Uber. Let's see. Uber, yeah, up $230. That's good. I like that. They're good with Macy's. $1,700 with Macy's. I was with Macy's for quite a while. And of course, we had our loser there, APA. All right, would you add a tranche today if you didn't have one already? At a tranche. What are you talking about? Are you talking about something other than the wheel? You might want to clarify that, James. All right, Iraqi trader TQQQ. It's great so far. $3,000 in profit. My put was 25, and I hold 200 shares. Selling covered calls. So you're doing the safe wheel, and you're using TQQQ. That's what it sounds like, and you're up about $3,000. Good, good. You guys, um, I have this consistent guy that keeps coming into my safe wheel um, comment section, and he keeps saying that people are not making money with the safe wheel, and then it doesn't make money. You guys go in there, and if you're making money, let him know about this, because I'm kind of tired of this guy coming in here saying that people are not making money with this system. If you needed to add 2 positions instead of 1, 2 positions. Yeah, the only way I would add 2 positions rather than 1 is if I had more capital. So I'm a little bit confused as to what you're asking me. Oh, so maybe you added more capital, and would you add another tranche? Yeah, sure. I would add another tranche if my capital was, got up to between 10 and 15. I would go ahead and, I'd be trading 2 of these and 6 of these. Yes, sir. Yes. So you are using safe wheel. You're up 3,000. Great. That's really good. I like that. James, would I open? Sure, I'd open today. I'd open a new safe whale strategy today if I was starting from scratch. Sure. I think that's your question. But yeah, if you guys can get into my comment section of these videos, that would help me out a lot. Like I said, I have this one guy that keeps going in there and keeps making all these false claims and keeps saying that nobody's making money with this thing, and nobody's coming in there saying, no one will come in and say that they're making money with it, and that proves that nobody's making money with it, kind of thing. So, okay, James, good. I'm glad that I was able to answer your question. In this level, I will not open Uber position. It's at the bottom. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. I guess you're talking from a directional point of view. And again, remember, we're non-directional here. So I'm not sure what Uber's going to do, whether it's going to go up or down. I don't know. I wonder what he gets from just purposefully being negative towards you. I'm up 287 on Uber at the moment, but my put hedge is still the original one we opened at 25. Ooh, so that's, that's nice having that 25. I mean, your put hedge is really paying off. Yeah, that's why I asked him to come into live stream and ask people at the live stream, because that's where you're going to see the people. But he's not there. Oh, looks like we got a little spam. Okay, Charles. Safe wheel definitely increasing my P&L. Great, Charles. Appreciate that. Schmidt's safe wheel consistently working for me. Running this in 2 portfolios. Well, we'll see if this guy sees this particular video. And we'll see what happens. Sharon, thank you, Carl. You're welcome. Okay, guys, I don't see any more questions coming in. If you guys have a comment, make sure you make it right now. I know it takes a few seconds for it to show up. Also, I wanted to talk about, let people know that my safe wheel, the whole system, is available. I have the flow chart, and I have how to pick the right stock, all that available for under $100. If you compare that to anything else out there, first of all, most or everything else out there doesn't even make money. So whatever you pay isn't worth it. But with this one under $100, I mean, I think it's a good deal. Or you can just go back and follow all of the live streams that I have, and you can learn it by watching all the live streams for free. Will, tell him to read the live chat while he watches your videos as well. Great. Yes, good idea, Will. I appreciate that. Joe, will this work in an IRA regardless of margin? I think certain IRAs do allow you to have margin. Just using regular Reg T margin. And if you can get Reg T margin and trade options, then it will work in an IRA. And there are some IRAs, I think, that you can do this with, like Tasty Works and TD Ameritrade. I'm not sure about the other ones. No, sir, if we buy a new hedge puts and Uber jumps 5, what's going to happen to the puts? They'll lose, like APS. Yeah, that's the risk. You know, there's a little bit of risk in this trade. That is the risk. You might lose, 5%. But it's not going to be a major loss because you have that hedge. You have this, you've got this long call here at $30. Smits is telling Joe, hey, I'm running this in 2 IRAs. So yes, it is possible. I wonder what broker you're using, Schmitz. Joe, okay, I'm close. I might close out some positions and try it on there. And Charles Schwab. Yeah, I'm not sure if Schwab does that or not. You'd have to call Schwab. Will you be down for that week? But this is a long-term strategy. So eventually, you hope it'll drop and your puts will get called away. Yeah, so, thinking it from a long-term point of view, statistically, you should come out ahead with this strategy. I mean, this year it's doing much better than average, 25%. Joe, if you end up getting assigned on 2 positions, you need to underallocate. Okay. Like, guys, big time. Oh yes, please subscribe to my channel if you have not, and then also like the video. If you can do that, that would help me out. Andy, do you have any suggested broker platforms for people in the UK? I'm using Interactive Brokers, but good to know what others are using. Yeah, that's a good question for anyone else. My first thought comes to Interactive Brokers. There's maybe TradeStation. There's Dash Prime. That's a broker that I use for my. It's not really a fund. It's not my hedge fund, but where I help people trade their accounts. So it's not necessarily a hedge fund, but it's very similar to a hedge fund. But I use Dash Prime for that. And you can shoot me an email and I'll send you my broker's name. And he could help get you set up. The thing is, there's a lot, I don't know how it would work. If you have to have a certain amount of capital and things like that. But that might be another alternative. And they're definitely better than Interactive Brokers, in my opinion. So, Vet, can the $5 call to protect the 3 put hedges be bought on Friday to protect the long puts over the weekend in case of the price jump? Absolutely. Yeah. That's actually not a bad idea at all. I just want to be totally out of my position before I start a new position, but just that little $5 call, that's not a bad idea at all, buying that on Friday. Tron, add DAL to your list. Do I have DAL in here? I guess not. Thought I had it in there before. Okay, good, thanks. Okay, guys. Again, please hit that subscribe, the like button, the notification bell. A lot of people ask me, well, where's your live stream? I couldn't see it. I didn't get it. Well, if you hit the notification bell, then you're going to get it. But sometimes people don't. It's hard for them to find it. All right, I'm going to get ready to close out the broadcast here. One thing I always like to say, if the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? We'll see you guys next week.